Hello and welcome to Sports Bet Daily. It is Monday, the 3rd of June here. Now, the domestic leagues may be over and done with, but there is enough to keep us going for the tournaments here, and we have you covered. And I tell you what, it's a first. I'm covering 3 different tournaments in today's show. Nations League, we're covering Euro 2020 qualifiers, and also Women's World Cup. We've also got a new guest as well joining us. It'll be interesting to meet him, EJ Jar, and also French Open, looking at some quarterfinal matches and some round 4 matches as well. But listen, we have a lot to get through. I hope you guys have got your pen and paper ready, because we've got some awesome tips from some great tipsters. Introducing the first 2 guests for the first part of the show here, Alex from Need for Tips and Chef Michael. Hello guys, welcome to the show. What a show we've got. A lot to crack on. First of all, both of you cleaned up on your Champions League tips, so congratulations on that one. Alex even predicting the correct score, 2-0. All of those are documented both on video and on their Twitter handles as well. It's at Need for Tips, and I'm just bringing up yours, Chef Michael. Chef Michael 1128. Both of these tipsters here document all their tips on Twitter, so give them a follow. But listen, let us crack on. Nations League semi-finals. It is heating up. Going to start with Netherlands versus England. England 2.55, Netherlands 3.2, and then the draw 3.3. Now, Alex, obviously most of England's squad played in the Europa League and Champions League last week. How, if anything, will this affect this match?
Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Danny Rose, Dele Alli, Ross Barkley, Eric Dyer, Harry Kane. After that, also from the Netherlands, we have Van Dijk, we have Wijnaldum, but we have also some players from Ajax who played in the semifinals of the Champions League. But they are well rested. Frankie de Jong, Donny van den Beek, Daley Blind. It will affect because, for example, Harry Kane was very poor in the Champions League final. I think that he will be benched, and either Sterling, either Marcus Rashford will replace him in the first 11 in Thursday match. Both teams, if you think about it, Europa Nations League, a new competition, a new opportunity for some teams to earn their Euro 2020 spots there before even the qualifications for the Euro. So that is important, but also for Netherlands and England, who Netherlands, first of all, missed the opportunity to play the World Cup last year. England did an amazing job last year at the World Cup, but they are trophyless for a long time. So I think that this is the best opportunity for both of them to bring home the trophy. It's important, after all, to bring home the trophy. Doesn't matter what trophy. We've seen that, and I think that they will take it serious. They will start their best 11, and they will give everything to qualify in the final. Don't forget, it's the neutral venue. They are playing in Portugal, in Guimarães there, so it doesn't matter who is the host, who is not. I think that it will be an interesting match, full of opportunities from both sides. Both sides are great going forward. I think that it will be a nice match.
Interesting. And I was going to say, because obviously, as Alex was saying there, Chef Michael, that Netherlands failed to qualify for the round 16 in the 2018 World Cup. England made it through to the semis. How much of those sort of results are you factoring in when capping this match?
I don't really take account. I mean, this is they're playing now. I mean, last summer was last summer. There's obviously a lot of talented players on both sides. I mean, I look for a lot of goals between these two teams.
All right. So it sounds like, reading between the lines of both of you are expecting goals, I'm guessing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Me, I'm expecting goals. I'm going 2 units on both teams to score at 1.8 with Betfair right now. I think that this match is taken serious by both sides. And again, they are brilliant going forward, but also they struggle to keep clean sheets. England on the road are are not so good. They are conceding. They have the tendency to concede. Netherlands, I think that they conceded in 7 of their last 8 matches, if I'm correct. I have to check it one more time. But anyway, I think that this also the over 2.5 goals seems to have great value. But I'm playing both teams to score because it might go extra time and penalties, and who will qualify in the final from Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my bet as well, actually. Both teams to score. I found odds of 1.8. You've got Netherlands obviously scored in their past 11 matches. The time they didn't score actually was against England, which was 1-0, but that was a friendly. I think obviously both being on the road, Netherlands have got goals in them, so have England. I'm just playing the both teams to score, not the over 2.5 goals combined as well. Just both teams to score for me. What about you, Chef Michael?
Yeah, exactly same page. Both teams to
Really?
score. I found both teams to score in the over 2.5 at 2.21 if you wanted to get some extra value, but I'm sticking with the both teams to score 1.8.
Full house. Full house. All right, we have a lot of matches to get through, so we will continue. Okay, so Portugal versus Switzerland. Now Portugal 1.7, draw 3.85, Switzerland 5.9. If you're tuning in on a clip, I'm joined today by Chef Michael and Alex, previewing Nations League here semi-final. These two teams are very, very similar. I think for ranking, they're 7th and 8th respectively. But Portugal have the home advantage here, don't they, Alex?
Yeah, but because they are playing in Portugal, they are the host of the tournament, of the Final Four tournament. So there are 4 teams in the semi-finals, and they are playing on Estadio do Dragão, and it will be full house with all the Portuguese fans. So a huge value on the home win there. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously is back. He wasn't interested to feature in the group stage, but right now he is back. He's well rested. His end of the season wasn't brilliant, but anyway, Juventus lifted the trophy in their domestic league. But right now, I think that Portugal are going all in, most of all because this Final Four tournament is played on their home turf. Switzerland also a dangerous side. I think that they have plenty of weapons to score and to find the back of the net. I'm not saying that Portugal are not a decent defensive side, but Switzerland are have the weapons to find the back of the net, even though they are playing away in Portugal. But if you want to take the value from this match, go with Portugal. I will take a second bet with both teams to score at 1.92. I think that Portugal right now are priced at 1.7. If I'm correct, tell me.
Yeah, we are 1.7.
Yeah, 1.7. 1.7 for Portugal to win in a regular time. I think that there is plenty of value also there.
Yeah, I think obviously the odds are seriously reflecting the fact that Portugal are on their home turf because, you know, both made it to the round 16 in the World Cup, and that was where their journey ended there. It was very close obviously between the two. They were, like I just said, pitted in the same group. I think that if this was on neutral territory, I think that the odds would be a little bit closer. So I think there's a little bit of value, 1.7, but considering that these two teams are so close, I'm just wondering if there's how much of a value. What do you think about that, Chef Michael?
Sorry, before you arrive to Chef Michael, they met in the World Cup qualifiers 2 years ago on Portugal's turf, and Portugal were priced at 1.62. They won 2-0. Now they are at 1.7, and given the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is there, I think that there is plenty of value in the home team.
There we go. All right, so 1.7. Would you agree with that, Chef Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Portugal is one of those teams for me. It's just seems impossible for me to cap lately. I mean, they have too many dangerous weapons, and 4 of their last matches have gone under 2.5. And Switzerland can score a lot of goals. They got 6 past Iceland and 5 past Belgium in past competitions, and you know they got a lot of deadly weapons too. They got Granit Xhaka, and Brielle Dembalo from Schalke. And, I agree with Portugal. I'm going to take Portugal minus 0.75 on the Asian handicap at 1.83. And then probably another half stake on Portugal and under 4.5 at 1.95.
Ooh, 1.95. Okay, interesting, because I was going to bring that up. Obviously, the last 5 head-to-heads have gone under 2.5 goals. Many say the trend is not your friend. The under 2.5 goals is 1.86. That's exactly what I was looking at as well, combining the Portugal win. I was looking at the under 3.5. You can get that for 2.2, but there's still value there at the under 4.5 at 1.9. Alex, obviously you were talking about Switzerland scoring, looking at both teams to score as well. Do you see this game going 5 goals plus?
No, absolutely not. No, because Portugal love to keep it safe. They will go 1-0 up, and after that they will defend. They have a brilliant defensive side, and I don't think that they will keep a clean sheet. But I'm seeing Portugal and over 2.5, if you ask me, as a combined result. But I will just go with these 2 half stakes there. Portugal to win at 1.7 and both teams to score at 1.92.
Wonderful stuff. Yeah, I'm liking Portugal and under 4.5 goals there, 1.9. Chef Michael, is your official play Portugal and under 4.5 goals at 1.9?
Yes.
Wonderful stuff. All right, that wraps up our Nations League semi-final previews there of the 2 matches. We are now heading on over to Euro 2020 qualifiers. Before we filmed, both Chef Michael and Alex sent in the games that they wanted to cover. I have to say, and I messaged Alex and said, I think this is the first time that neither of you are on a single match from Friday's games. Like that's normally there's at least one. So I'm gonna see how we're gonna do this. I've got them all written down here. Gonna start with, all right, let's see how we're gonna do this. I combined it. Let's see if you've even got the same groups. You must have done the same groups. Maybe did you? I don't think you've even done the same groups. All right, let's start. This is strange because normally, you find the value and then you go, but all right, we're going to start off with, okay, so Group A, Chef Michael likes 2 matches from here. Czech Republic versus Bulgaria. Group A, Czech Republic 1.6, draw 4.15, and Bulgaria 7.5. It's 6th versus 2nd, respectively. Czech Republic obviously have a game in hand. Czech Republic have the home advantage, but they did lose their first match to England 5-0. So 1.6 seems mighty low. Why are they such heavy favourites?
Yeah, obviously because they're at home, and they've only lost 3 home matches, and that was one to Brazil and one to Germany. And Bulgaria away from home are just absolutely dreadful. I think Czech Republic can win this pretty easily, so I'm going to go Czech Republic -1 at 1.93.
Okay, there we go. Montenegro versus Kosovo, also from Group A. Montenegro 2.1, draw 3.3, Kosovo 4.33. I like Montenegro as a team. We've covered them in the past, but they haven't had a good start. 1-1 draw at Bulgaria, 5-1 loss hosting England. Kosovo obviously have only played 1 game so far. They drew 1-1 hosting second place Bulgaria. I'm sort of liking the home win, to be honest with you, but I've got a soft spot for Montenegro 2.1. What do you like in this match?
I like Kosovo. I was really confused when I started getting into this match. I mean, Montenegro have only won 3 matches in their last 15, and Kosovo haven't lost since the World Cup. They lost to Iceland and Ukraine and Finland. They didn't have a very good World Cup showing, but they haven't lost since then. And they have a lot of talent the young talent that, you got to watch out for. They got a Werder Bremen guy, Milo Rashica. So I'm going to take a stab with Kosovo at 4.
Ooh, go for those odds then.
I was looking at that match, to be honest. It was just about to make the cut. I was thinking Kosovo draw double chance at 1.85 from the same reasons. I know very good the Montenegro side. They played Romania late in 2018. They've lost against Romania 1-0 at home, and I think that also in Romania they failed to score. So they failed to score against a team like Romania that are struggling in their defense. Kosovo, not at all, Montenegro, not at all the team that I was expecting. Many talents they have, but they are missing many players. So I think that the value is on Kosovo with the draw double chance there at 1.85.
Ooh, there we go. Shows me. All right. So Chef Michael straight on the Kosovo win there, and then Alex. It's not his official play, but liking the draw no bet there. Was it draw no bet or draw double chance?
Draw double chance at 1.85.
All right. I think you've got somebody going through doors. Quite loud, Chef Michael.
Not me, Chef Michael. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay, Ukraine versus Serbia now, Group B. Alex is on this match. Ukraine 2.75, Serbia 3, and the draw 3.12. And it's first versus fifth here. Ukraine have played played 2 games. Serbia just 1 at the moment. I think this game's going to be close. I think the odds reflect that. But Alex, what do you like?
The game, it will be a close one. Don't forget that we are just at the start of the qualifications. Some teams played just 1 match. Some other teams played just 2 matches. Ukraine leading the standings, followed by Luxembourg, if you believe it or not, 3 points in 2 matches. Poor Luxembourg side there who won against Lithuania. But Serbia, very good against Portugal, 1-1 on the road there. Portugal, I think that if they are winning the Nations League, they will earn their tickets to Euro. So it will be interesting how they will approach the rest of the matches from the Euro 2020 qualifications. But this match screams both teams to score for me at 2.1. This is a perfect spot for Ukraine at home to score, with Shevchenko doing a great job as a coach, as a manager coach, national team coach with Ukraine, but Serbia having great attacking firepower there with Mitrovic, Tadic, Ljajic, Maksimovic, many great players they have in the starting 11 there, and also on the bench with Luka Jovic from Eintracht Frankfurt there, who can score. He was brilliant in Bundesliga last season. But also Ukraine have a great attacking side, and they can score. If you ask me on the winner side, I would go with Serbia with draw no bet, to be honest, at 2.05. But my official play for this match is both teams to score at 2.1.
Okay, I like this. If you ask me, I am. That's why you're here. I'm asking you. If you ask me, as I'm interviewing you. Yes, cool. All right then. Group D, Georgia versus Gibraltar. Georgia 1.06, draw 17, and Gibraltar 34. This one's interesting because normally we stay away from Gibraltar because they are always such heavy underdogs. But they're 5th and 6th, respectively, with Gibraltar having played just 1 game, Georgia 2. The one thing that they do both have in common is they lack firepower. So I was sort of leading. I didn't get a chance to look at the price there. The under 2.5 goals would maybe something that I would look into. Except, for example, if they play Spain, then you look for like the over 6.5 goals. But you obviously really like this one, Chef Michael. What are you going for?
Yeah, I've made quite a bit of money betting on Georgia lately, and more money even fading Gibraltar. So it's kind of a match of 2 teams that I like to bet on and a team that I like to bet against.
True, but at 1.06, you're not going to, it's going to take a while to pay your mortgage with that price. So what do you like?
Let me remind you, Natalie, that Gibraltar last year beat Armenia 1-0 on the road, odds of 33. Remember that match?
I do remember that match. I know.
And if you remember something else also, I think that you went Gibraltar +3 against North Macedonia last year, and it cashed. So Gibraltar +3 right now is at 1.85.
Could this be the bet, Chef Michael? What do you like?
I like Georgia to get out early and put this away before halftime. I took Georgia minus 1.5 at first half at 2.16.
Ooh, all right. I feel that's a brave bet, but let's wait and see. Okay, so that is Group D. We can take that one off now. D, F, G. Okay, so F, Norway versus Romania. No surprise, Alex B on this one. Norway 2.08, draw 3.45, and Romania 4. Fifth Norway, third Romania. I have to say this is one of the bets that I really like here. Both teams have goals in them, both concede. I think this is going to be a great game with plenty of goals. Are we rolling out the Alex Classic on this one?
No, just both teams to score at 2.1. I think that we'll see over 2.5 goals, but we will not risk it. Don't even look at the standings, because Norway lost against Spain 2-1 and they drew against Sweden, and it was unbelievable what happened in that match. Norway were leading 2-0 in the 60 minutes. After that, in 20 minutes, Sweden scored 3 goals, and in the 97th minute, Norway managed to find the equalizer, and the match ended 3-3 there. It was a hell of the match, one of the best matches in Euro 2020 qualifiers. I love these competitions. This competition, last rounds on Oddsmarket and on Twitter, I think that I went 15 units in plus in just 2 rounds of fixtures, and this is what I'm prepared to do also now. So I will. So be careful, because Martin is covering the daily stuff. Me, I'm covering, as usual, the AKA bets, the treble bets.
Ooh, yes.
From the rounds.
Oh yes,
And we are very good also with the Roland Garros. We are in great profit with our treble bets, by the way, on Oddsmarket. Don't forget that. So yeah, I think that plenty of goals here with both teams to score at 2.1. Great value plus money there. So I'm going with that. Romania, good side lately. Many young players from the under 21 team brought by the coach contract here, but Norway at home have pure value. If I was to play the winners market, I am Romanian, but I will go with Norway at 2.05 if you like the winners market more. But I will stick with the both team to score at 2.1.
There we go, playing with the head and not the heart. That's the way to do it. MK, for those who don't know, obviously both teams have played 2 games each. Romania have scored 5, conceded 3. Norway scored 4 and conceded 5. I am liking both teams to score. I'm liking 2.5 goals, and I am liking the Alex Classic. All right, tick. Next one, Group F. Faroe Islands versus Spain. Alex is on this one. Spain 1.05, draw 17, and Faroe Islands 41. What was I going to say? Top versus bottom. Spain obviously has scored 4 goals across 2 games. They've conceded just 1. Faroe Islands have lost both of their matches. Question is do you predict Faroe Islands to find the back of the net? They have the home advantage, or are we looking more like a Spain to win 2-0?
Yeah, Spain to win 2-0, but I don't think that that has value. What are the odds for that?
I have no idea, but I'm going to guess it's super low. I'm going to guess it's super
low.
Yeah,
I think that it should be around 1.4 if you ask me. I don't know exactly, but I will check in just a second. But till that time, I think that Spain will control this game, will dominate. I think that it will be a friendly match for Spain, with the boys being already on vacation. But Faroe Island, come on, they are a joke. They are a joke of a team. They lost against Romania 4-1 on the road. They've lost against Malta 2-1 on the road. Yes, they are playing at home, but we're talking about Spain here. And first half minus 1.5 Spain, 2.08. Full match minus 3 on the Asian handicap, 1.77. Both official plays for me, because Spain will go dancing there. Tiki-taka, and they will find the back of the net early in the game, and they will take care of the business from halftime. Maybe they will enter the score. I expect 3-0 at halftime, to be honest. But in the second half, I don't expect them to go in so much in the fifth gear. You know, they will remain in the second there, first, second. But I think that they will win 4-5-0 easily. But I will check also the Spain win 3-0 before ending the show.
Tiki taka, I like that saying. You've got, looks like your cousin is on here, Alex. Freddy Canute. Hola, Alex. Cuñado. Well, cuñada is like cousin, I think, in Spanish. He says Spain 4-0. So agreeing.
That's the spirit. I don't have cousins in Spain now.
Right. Okay. So we have done that match. 2 matches left to go. Austria versus Slovenia, Group G. Austria 1.76, draw 3.75. Slovenia 5.4. Fifth and fourth, respectively. Austria haven't picked up their first win. They're certainly priced like they're going to win. They're at 1.76. Can Austria pick up their first win? And what is your bet?
Or can Slovenia pick up their first win? Because they are the king of the draws. In Europa Nations League, they had 3 consecutive draws, 1-1, all of them. If you look at Slovenia's last 5 head-to-heads across all competitions, you will see 1-1, 5 of them. Like that, they ended. I'm seeing goals. I'm going over 2 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.7. So in case we have 2 goals, it will be a void bet. In case we have 3 goals, it will be a winning bet. I see a nice thrilling encounter. Both teams trying to add some points to their group tally there because they are fighting for the top 2. For the top to finish. So I think that this is important. Who will win their first game? Austria very poor against Poland. They lost at home 1-0. But worse against Israel in the second match where they lost 4-2 on the road. I expect Austria to bounce back here, but Slovenia are a tough nut to crack. So I think that over 2 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.7 is the way to go here.
Interesting, so avoiding the outrights here. Final match here, North Macedonia versus Poland. Alex, also from Group G, Poland 1.91, top of the group there, draw 3.5, North Macedonia 4.8. I have to say, they are on the road, but that 1.9 looks rather tempting. What's your play in this match?
Absolutely, they were brilliant against Austria on the road, 1-0, don't forget that. North Macedonia, the new name of this country, I think that it will be a very, very nice show on the stadium because they are fantastic fans. They will cheer for their team 90 minutes. They will push them to score. They will give them some more power. But Poland, after what happened at the World Cup, I think that they will try to easily book their tickets for Euro 2020, and I think that they will show at Euro very, very strong. So Poland for me at 1.9, not 1.91, the best odds on the market right now. Yes, Macedonia are unbeaten in this group, but let's not forget that they played against Latvia and against Slovenia. So Poland is the best team in this group, and they should get the job done before going to relax in vacation, in the summer vacation for them.
All right, wonderful stuff. So just to wrap up here, Chef Michael, your top tip, your favourite bets here across the ones you've mentioned, which one are you going for? Which one would you put 2 units on?
I'm going to say England and Netherlands, both teams to score, would be the banker.
All right. And Alex, same question to you.
Yeah, it's I don't know exactly what to choose, but I really like Spain -3. I really like I don't know, Norway versus Romania, both teams to score at 2.1. My two units play is coming from UEFA Nations League, Netherlands versus England, both teams to score there at 1.8. But for more 2 units bets. I will post them on Twitter on the day of the match.
There you go. At Need for Tips, give Alex a follow here, and at Chef Michael 1128. Thank you, boys. It's been a pleasure. We'll be catching up during the week here, but best of luck with your bets.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, first half of the show there wrapped up. We're now going to move over. We're talking French Open here, the second week, and then also some Women's World Cup tips here, looking at futures, and also a few of the opening games here. Introducing the Whale Capper and the Rainmaker, EJ Gar. Excited to speak to the both of them. It's the first time I'm speaking with EJ here, so it's going to be a pleasure. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. How's everyone doing?
Doing very well.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. What a busy week we have. And new guest, the Rainmaker, EJ Gar. How are you doing?
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm shocked that you reached out and said, hey, we're going to have you on the show. Thank you. I'm here.
Yes, you are. So we've got obviously two parts to the show. The first, we're going to talk about French Open the second week. Then we'll move and we'll talk about Women's World Cup futures and some plays for some of the opening matches there. Whale Capper, obviously Osaka. What happened? She was a favourite. She was one of our, and she's out.
That was not a competitive match. She got smoked.
I know.
And
once again, the women's outrights are wide open. EJ, what are you liking here? Because did you have any futures plays on the outrights for the women's side?
you know what? I'd like to discuss the 4 remaining matches. I mean, Vandrousova and Martic. Are you crazy? Rematch of Istanbul? Oh my God! I'm obviously shocked that Vandrousova. She's favored. Vandrousova. What is Vandrousova favored for? I can't believe that. Petra's going to win this match. I saw the plus 150 on Petra and said, obviously her back is fine. We all were concerned about her back when she went down for that time there. She's fine. If she says her back is fine, and she's playing tennis the way she is, well then I'm going to back her. That plus 150 line there is outrageous. I have to have it. That you have to have. I was shocked at him sober today. That's gonna be a match too. Obviously, Halep is gonna be so tough to beat. She's so tough to beat. She's just so cerebral and just doesn't care, and that's tough to beat when you don't care. She's just gonna bring her game. She's gonna be pretty tough to beat. But that Madison Keys Barty match, that's gonna be gorgeous. Those two are gonna go at it. That first set's only 9.5. I don't know if you saw that first set. Total's 9.5 at even money. Thank you. But thank you. That's certainly going to be a 6-4 first set. I think Madison's going to find a way to get past Barty. Another underdog at plus 150. Give me the underdogs with the remaining 8 matches here, except for the Halep match. I'm not going against Simona. But, and Joanna, too, I suppose you're into the whole Konta Sloane Stephens match being the whole Brit thing. That's going to be a match, too, between the USA and a Brit. Oh, baby.
Whale Capper, do you agree there? Is it time to back the underdogs here? So you've got Matric at 2.4 here, Martic at 2.4. I agree not to go against Simona Halep. That's definitely a great call. No. But on the women's side here, are you liking the underdogs?
I like. I'm a little lukewarm on Martic. I like that. My favorite look on that match is over 2.5 sets. That has 3 sets written all over it to me. I think the players know each other's games well enough. The stakes are high enough that I think you're going to see that one in the decider. I slight lean Vandrousova, but I don't think that I don't love the price at all, and I don't fault anyone for taking a swing at Martic at that dog price. I also fancy Keys. I like that look. I think Keys is going to give Barty her hands. She's going to test her significantly here. Barty's been playing amazing. She's having a great year. She's racking up some pretty impressive accomplishments. But I think Keys has the slam pedigree. She brings her best in these slam matches, and I think this should be an evenly lined match. And so if you're going to give me a dog price on Keys, I'm in. I think Halep coasts to the finals, and I like Sloane Stephens. I'm not getting involved in Konta at this point. Like, she's impressed. She's done she's before this tournament, she had never won a match at Roland Garros. So to get to this point is an amazing accomplishment. I give her, we'll give her the golf clap. Well done. But it ends here. Sloane Stephens, your last year's finalist. She's going to give Halep a test in the final again this year. But I'm holding the Halep ticket from the Australian Open. When Halep proved at the Australian Open that she could compete without Cahill in her corner, it was kind of a good sign that she was going to be the rightful favorite to repeat here. And to this point, I have loved her mentality. I loved the way that she, put her foot down when she wanted to, save some of her gas for later rounds. She's been able to kind of really, show another level. And I think Halep is still the rightful favorite to win the whole thing. But I think it's going to be Halep and Stephens in the final. And I think it's going to be damn tight.
There you go, laying the cards down on the table. So EJ, what do you have the price for? I wasn't able to find the price for this Simona Halep versus Anisimova game. Do you have the odds for that one?
Those lines are just coming out because those matches are just coming to a conclusion now. I saw Simona at -500, pretty big. Obviously, that handicap will be in the 4 or 5 range too. There's no value there. I mean, you can't +500 anything over -150, -200. You start reaching into the what's the value? And there's no value in Simone at -500. You can't touch that. Really, we didn't mention Madison getting her old coach back too. Having Tadero back is so big for her, man. She went into Charlotte and took another clay tournament, and that was big. I like what Madison's doing right now too. And we didn't even talk about that Conta. What Conta Stevens are about going to go 2.5 sets too. Do you see that plus 125? For the over 2.5 sets, man, that's a 3-set. Oh, don't give me that face, man. Come on.
If there was something about the way Stevens kind of clicked into gear during that Muguruza match that I'm thinking she's straight sets in the quarters, straight sets in the semis. She's very clear and transparent with how she's feeling and how the tournament is impacting her, and the joy with which she's doing her press, which she's doing her social media, really tells me that Sloane is in a really positive mental place. And granted, Conta, I don't know where this clay level has come from. I didn't know that she had this game in her toolbox, but it should give her some confidence heading into grass season. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I've just got Alex there from Need for Tips is coming in there saying Anisimova plus 5.5 at 1.72. And actually, as you just said there, EJ, the odds did just come out. Simona Halep 1.23 and Anisimova is 4.9 there. What's your official play on that match, EJ?
For me?
Yes.
Got to take the under. I mean, you can talk about 19, 20 games again. No. Simona's playing too well. I love what the American's doing. Obviously, she looks phenomenal. She's cruising. But no, you can't fade Simona right now. If Simona's going to be -4, -5, somewhere in there, you got to take her. You just have to take her.
Okay, yeah. What about you, Will Kappa?
I'm staying off that one pre-match. I'm going to watch and see see what Anisimova's game looks like at the beginning. I could see a scenario where she comes out the more aggressive player, takes a break or something early, and then Halep kind of lets her wear herself out a little bit. She sees her best shots, and then Halep puts on the gas. And, you could see a tight first set, so maybe over in the first set and then under in the second set. Maybe look for a live opportunity to grab Simona if it looks like it's a competitive match, because the longer the match goes, I think the more Halep is going to kind of build into some steam, and she'll probably, put whatever the final, if it's a 2-set match or, by some weird coincidence it's a 3-set match, I think the final set will be something like 6-0, 6-2 Halep or something like that.
All right, so both you agreeing that you're going to wait possibly some in-play opportunities on the Simona Halep match. What are your favourite plays on the WTA side, EJ, for on the WTA side?
On the women's side, like I mentioned, I think that Conta and Stevens are going to play 2.5 sets, man. You can doubt me all you want. I'm telling you, those two are going to play. I like that over 22 as well, because of the fact that they're going to go 3 sets. That over 22 looks reasonable. We might even see a tiebreak, a 7-6, 6-4. There's our 23. I can see that happening. I don't think those two are going to break each other all that much. Like I said, I like Petra. I think Petra's going to find a way to move on, and Madison's going to find a way to move on. And both of them with the value of 2.4 and 2.5. Thank you. I'm thinking dog. We'll see what happens. That's my women's thing. You want to move to the men's side? I'm more than ready for that. Oh baby.
I will. We're moving to the men's. Just your official plays, Whale, for the women's side.
Yeah, over 2.5 sets in the Martic match for me is my favorite by far. I've got a little bit of like a half unit on keys to advance, and I'm going to be looking for opportunities to back Stevens and Halep live in both of those two. So nothing pre-match for those on me.
Okay, all right. Moving over to the men inside here. EJ, can't wait for this one. We've got some big matches here. Stan Wawrinka, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Alex Zverev. Two massive matches. What are you liking on the men's side, EJ?
Man, all right. Did you see it? Hey, Whale Capper. Did you see the +10 on Nishikori? +10? Excuse me? Listen, man. All that dude wants to do is make you run. If you see 2 straight shots to someone's backhand, Nishikori's going the other way. He mixes it up better than anyone you know. He may not be big in stature. He may not have the 125-mile-an-hour serve. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it, man. I think he's going to challenge Nadal all day. I took the +11 against Nadal last time he was out there. I got that rather fine, even in straight sets. Even if Nadal does go on and win 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, guess what, man? Cash in my ticket. Nishikori is going to give him more of a battle than I think we expect. Because Nishikori makes you run, and what's the last thing that Nadal wants to do is run on those knees, man. So I think Nishikori is going to challenge him a lot more than the line setters expected. +10? I'm all over Nishikori at +10. All over it. I'll start there and let you go.
Wales thinking about it. Well, are you as confident as our Rainmaker is here?
I like the look. Your points are valid. I especially would be interested in that if the weather is what it holds and it's going to be a little cooler and a little bit wetter. Whenever it comes to handicapping a Nadal match at Roland Garros, the first thing you need to look at is what time is the match and what is the weather going to be like. Because if it's dry, if it's warm, if it's during the day, don't bet against Nadal. Do not do it. But if it's cooler, if it's wetter, and if he's not getting because so much of his effectiveness there is coming off the spin. Philippe Chatrier court is an unpredictable bouncing court, and if you combine that with what he's doing with the forespin that he, top spin that he gets on these balls, it's incredible. And so, if it's a little wetter, if it's a little cooler, then the dog is always a little alive against Nadal, at least because the bookmakers price Nadal pretty, prohibitively expensive in every match in the French Open. And so, if the conditions play to the dog, then there would be value. My issue, though, with Nishikori, I don't know that he finishes the match. It's no skin off your back to take the handicap because if he retires at some point, it's void. But I could see a scenario play out because he just came off this, mammoth, a marathon 2-day 5-setter against Paire. He's played more tennis than you would have liked to have seen from him in his last 2 rounds here. And I could see a situation where he wears down and, you see something like 6-3, 3-0 retirement, something like that could happen. But if he makes it through the full 3 sets, I do like the chances that you see 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, something along those lines where he covers the 11, because that is just a silly lot of game handicap to be asking Nadal to cover, especially if the conditions aren't in his favor.
Okay.
I agree.
2 opinions on that match. Well, have you got an official play?
I'm going to stay away from that one until we see a little bit more convincingly what the weather looks like tomorrow. I'm actually not sure they're going to get much tennis in tomorrow. It looks like it could be a nasty day. And but hey, that lends itself in the same way to a Nishikori play as well, because give him an extra day's rest, and that makes him a little bit more alive of a dog. But whenever it comes down to a Nadal match, the weather is so important that I tend to kind of wait until a little closer before getting involved, if at all.
All right. So EJ, you are very confident about that play. Wales come in and thrown his thoughts in. How are you sitting right now?
I like, I don't mind that. I can understand this point too, but and the humidity in the Nadal and those knees, man, that's certainly something you have to get. I'd love to see them get a day off. If you're going to give me that day off on top of it, obviously with the whole pair thing, that was quite a match, man. Man, they talk about Paris composure and all that. He didn't look composed at all. He was a mess, man. I love that those commentators. He looked so composed out there. He doesn't even look like he gets rattled. You must not have watched that match. Pierre was a mental man. He was all over. But man, can we talk? Let's talk about Stan and Roger too, man. That is going to be a war. We know they know each other so well. Obviously, Roger has been beating him down for entirely too long. 11 of the last 12, 7 in a row. Okay, we know Roger's Roger. We know Stan. Man, Stan's going to give him. Did you see that return that they did after like a 13 shot point, 101 mile an hour shot down the side that just got, man, him and that Greek, that was a match, man. Tsitsipas to have, and he wanted Federer because obviously when Federer bounced from Rome, Tsitsipas was on deck to get Federer, and he was like, oh, I want to get Federer again. But obviously it's going to be Stan and Roger. These two know each other so well, man. I like that over 39. The 3-set line is over minus 180. No, I'm not taking the minus 180, but if you're going to tell me there's going to be 4 sets here and that total sitting at 39, I'm all over it, man. I think Stan is more than ready to take Roger on. We all know what Roger can do. I'm Whale Capper. We all know who he is and what he can do. But I'm taking Stan. I hang out with him, man. I like that total. I think the first set total, too. First set total and the game total are both coming in for those two, man. I love that matchup.
All right. Well, Kappa, and we've got to speak. We've got about 10 minutes left, and we've got Women's World Cup, and there's a ton of people that's really excited about it and waiting. So, which is interesting.
Okay, I'll be quick. Yeah, so I agree 100%. Stan versus Stefanos Tsitsipas was the match of the year so far. That was so incredible to watch. 5 hours. But Stan is a machine. He's an animal. He can absolutely take it. He will come back and fight for sure against Federer here. Federer does have the better of the head-to-head, but it's been a long time since these two faced on clay, and clearly Federer's game is not optimal for clay. I think Stan is a live dog in this one. The problem is what we've seen with Federer and the way he approaches these Grand Slam matches. He likes to come out fast. He likes to come out and try to dictate pace, dictate service, and gets quick service holds in the first sets of these matches. So I'm against the Rainmaker here on the first set. I think it's going to go under. And I think Stan is going to kind of let Roger start to spin his wheels a little bit, and he's going to wait and try to build into this match and make it go the distance. I like the look on the game's overall because I do think I see a 4 or 5 setter here. And sort of in the same way that we talked about with some of the longer this goes, the deeper they get. The needle swings from Federer to Stan in terms of who has the higher likelihood of winning this match. If this is a 4 or 5 set match, I like Stan a lot. But it's all going to come down to kind of how the second set goes, how the third set goes. So it's going to be a match to watch pretty carefully for in-play opportunities. If Federer wins the first set, the price on Stan to win the match is going to be ridiculous. You're going to have to grab some of that, put some of that in your pocket. We've seen Stan play some amazing tiebreak tennis to this point in this tournament and in this year. And I think if we get to a tiebreak, and we probably will see at least one tiebreak in this one, then that favors Stan as well. So I'm pretty high on Wawrinka punching his ticket into the quarterfinals here. I know everyone wants to see Rafa play Fed, and Federer has played better than people expected on clay to this point. But Wawrinka is a 5-set master. He's going to figure out a way to make this go deep. And the further this goes, the more it favors him. So give me a little bit of the dog price on this one. And let's get a little upset between the Swiss.
Nice. Very nice indeed. All right. Wrapping up here for the men's. Do you want to just run us through your men's plays here, Whale Capper?
Sure. So I like Zverev to test Djokovic as well. I like the over in that one. I like the sets over in that one. I like Stan on the money line. I like Stan on the handicap. I like the game's over in that match, and then I'm going to wait for in-play opportunities otherwise. We don't know for sure, I guess, who Dominic Thiem is playing, but his form today against Monfils was incredible. He is now back as a contender in this tournament. And, maybe I'm being hopeful that Zverev will take some of the legs out of Djokovic before Thiem gets a shot at him. But we are really stacking up for one of the more epic ends of the slams here, between, the way that the way that the power players are all kind of positioning themselves for this, final week. This is going to be incredible. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. EJ, same question to you. Recap through your men's plays, please.
Yeah, Nishikori in the +10 handicap for me, and like we just mentioned with Stan, I think Stan and Roger are going to be playing tennis deep into that French nightmare. So yeah, I think that over is. But yeah, I cross your fingers, no doubt, man. That's going to be a great match. So those two, obviously, the history between the two of them is just worth the price of admission to watch those two go at it in a French Open and a major. You know what I mean? It's been, like you said, 4 years since they met here. It's going to be nice to see these two go at it again. Now, obviously, the big hug is going to be there at the end, but they still want to kill each other. Make no mistake.
All right, great stuff. That wraps up their French Open second week coverage there. Now moving over to the Women's World Cup. Now, interestingly, so how this came about, and which is why this show is going to go over the 1 hour that we normally go on. We weren't actually penned to cover it. I was speaking with Alex from Need for Tips, and so we were talking, and he goes, I don't know anybody who covers Women's World Cup. And I was like, me too. And I was like, well, let me have a look, and I'll see if I can find anybody anyway. So I did some searching, and this is how I found EJ. And EJ's like, yes, this is my thing. And I was like, wow, okay. And then we've got this group chat thing, and Whale Kappa just independently with that thing. It's like, oh my God, I'm so excited about the Women's World Cup. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yes, I'm really serious. I'm like, Whale Kappa, I think you're just fooling me at this moment. And he's like, no, there's some great lines. I've been capping this. So here are two experts for the Women's World Cup. Surprisingly, EJ, how did you get into betting the Women's World Cup?
Oh man, this is going to be fantastic World Cup. I'm more than looking forward to it. USA, man, it's so hard to not expect their dominance again. The line is obviously moving away from them, though. French side, USA are locked up right there at the top. This is going to be an interesting World Cup. You know what? That the Group E stuff, I think. I know you want to talk about England and USA and those particular groups and all, but that Group E stuff is going to be crazy too. New Zealand's getting way underrated than they should be. There's so much experience on that squad, and yeah, they're a Caribbean whatever nation, but they're going to show up too. This is going to be more than an exciting World Cup, I think. It's not just going to be USA, and I think England's got a pretty damn good shot with all that experience
Germany,
up there too.
Possibly Germany as well. Well, first of all, obviously, football or soccer, as you boys like to call it.
Football.
Is not that popular in the US, is it? There are obviously other sports that your own football you particularly like. Why do you guys have such a great? Because really, I've done my research, so I do know a little bit of what I'm talking about. USA are a great female soccer team. Why so? As
They're the ones
to
who
men's,
get the
obviously.
support. They're the ones who get more support than the men's team do. With all the craziness that goes on the men's side, the only reason why there's never going to be a men's and a women's champion at the same time is because the men can't do it. No. So, that's the biggest problem. And obviously this whole being treated fairly and equal is just a mess. Obviously, we saw Miss Norway give up her role on that role. And that's a big loss for Norway. She's an animal. I was really sad to see her go. So obviously the stand that all these women are making to be treated equal is a big stand. Obviously, I assume that you feel some of this too. This is a tough call for them because they deserve a lot more, and especially in this country. U.S. women's soccer is massive in this country, massive. Every little girl who is under 15 wants to be on that soccer team, wants to watch that soccer team and be around that soccer team, and that's big. That's huge. I think women's soccer is actually bigger in America than men's soccer is, and it always will be. And yet they do not get. I don't know if the women's soccer league really gets any attention in this country. You don't see it. You're going to have to buy some service or do something to get the NWSL, which stinks. I think the women deserve more there too, because the MLS isn't the only league in this country, and it's unfair that it has actually turned to that. Now the North American Soccer League is completely dismantled, and that's a mess too. American soccer is a mess on the men's side, but the women have it down, and I think everyone appreciates how much that the women have it together. They deserve more money, they deserve more treatment, and they deserve more respect. I no doubt about it.
Here, and let's hope because let's say when the World Cup is doing. So USA obviously 4.5 there. World Cupper. Do you think your girls can do it?
No, I think I don't like the price on them at all. And, okay, so
Really?
to kind of echo a lot of what EJ was saying, for sure, there's been a tremendous investment in this country in women's youth soccer, which has kind of trickled up into why there are good professional women's soccer players and why there's good national team. On top of that, there's immense competition for eyeballs and attention amongst the sports in the United States, amongst all the professional sports. But in June, July, in the summertime, it's kind of only baseball. And so you throw a national event in there like the World Cup or the Olympics, and you really kind of get everyone in the U.S. interested immediately. And the Women's World Cup is a great example of that. You go back to like the 1990 first ever Women's World Cup, and it absolutely captivated the United States. And there's been a bunch of these kind of examples through the through the years where people rally around just the event itself. That's why I care about it. Like I clearly remember the last couple Olympic cycles and World Cup cycles for women's soccer, and they were fantastically entertaining. There's all kinds of drama, especially in this World Cup, which is more wide open than most World Cups. It's taking place in France. Important things to know from a handicapping perspective: World Cups in general in Europe are much tougher on teams that come from the Pacific Rim. So your China, your Japan, New Zealand, Australia to a lesser extent, because a lot of their players play in North America and Europe. But those teams are traveling a lot farther, and it's a lot harder on them to adjust to the travel demands of playing in Europe, and you tend to see them underperform, especially early in the tournament. So I have kind of docked my expectations for Japan, especially on that basis. I think you're going to see, they're going to have a much tougher time winning their group than people are expecting. And then on the flip side, teams from Europe tend to play pretty well. Teams from America and South America tend to play pretty well. Those are just kind of some general rules about the Women's World Cup as far as looking at past performance. Specifically the U.S. and why they are so highly rated is kind of a head scratcher to me. They have a ton of new pieces on the defensive side of things. They don't really have a very solid backfield. They have a new starter in goal relative to past Olympic and past.
Wait. You did not just say the USA does not have a strong backfield. Did you just say that?
I don't think that their wingers on defense have the experience, have the goods. They've been searching for answers at left and right back. I don't think that they've got the core defensive unit combined with a new goalie to necessarily elevate them to be favorites in this tournament. You combine this with the fact that I think they pretty clearly win their group. I don't think that's really a question. The problem is the way that the knockout round breaks down. They'll have to face the winner of Group A in the quarterfinals, who's going to be France, right? So your two co-favorites are going to wind up playing each other in the quarterfinals. That has to open up value on the other side of the draw. And, I think it's pretty strong. I agree with the odds. France is overwhelmingly likely to win Group A. U.S. overwhelmingly likely to win Group F. That sets up a disaster for both of those teams in the quarterfinals. One of them's getting knocked out, and that's going to open up a ton of value in the rest of the outrights market. I'm looking on the bottom half of the draw. You brought up Group E. Group E clearly looks like the most competitive group, most entertaining group. I think Netherlands comes out of there. I like them at their current price, -130. And I like Netherlands just in general. Like I think that they are a team that they have tactical advantages over a lot of the other women's groups that are in this tournament. They're going to have to go through Australia in the quarterfinals. That's another kind of head-to-head that's got me a little bit concerned because, I liked both of those teams as kind of dark horses. But, you can get them at 8-1, 10-1. You can get them at relatively decent long shot prices to win the whole thing. And I do think either Australia or Netherlands is the team that represents the bottom half of the draw in the final. So those are my two looks in the outright market. I got some Australia, I got some Netherlands, and I think whoever wins that quarterfinal matchup represents the bottom half in the final. Top half, USA France is going to be so freaking hard to predict. If I felt more confident about our goalkeeping, if I felt more confident about our left and right backs, then I would say USA is going to get through that one, and then they'll be in the final. But at the price they're currently listed, I can't say I feel super strongly about it. So I'm going to stay away from those two.
Interesting stuff. Why do you say about the back? Because obviously we're going to go on and just preview a few of the games here. when did they get their new goalie? Because in recent times they score and they rarely even concede. So I'm not sure why they've got a bad. Just if you obviously go on by scores, then they don't let goals in.
So I mean, Hope Solo was the anchor on goal for years and years and years. Through their most successful teams, through their last World Cup victory, Hope Solo was an enormous part of that. She was replaced after the last Olympics. She made some pretty controversial statements about the Swedish team's tactics and their coach. And, I think politically they had just kind of enough with the drama that she was bringing off the field. So they've moved on from Hope Solo. And, so you have inexperience, really, is what it boils down to.
Okay.
You have, obviously they play a ton of friendlies. They play a ton of international matches. They get these girls some damn decent reps over the course of the intermediate, time between the big matches. But World Cup is a big deal. And, if they get into the knockout rounds of the World Cup and for whatever reason they end up in a, shootout with France or something like that in the quarterfinals, I'm going to have some serious question marks about how we do in that situation. So that's really what's got me a little spooked about getting involved in Team USA from a financial standpoint. Bobby, I'd be rooting for them with my heart, obviously. I want to see USA Australia or USA Netherlands in the final. That would be my preference. But the way that they're coming into this with the inexperience on the back end of things has me a little concerned.
All right, so EJ, you've heard what Wales going for there.
Disagree.
Okay. Head to head.
Yep.
Okay, I mean a little bit head to head. Although World Cup has certainly had a lot of more experience than I do on the Women's World Cup here. But I don't know. I quite fancy USA's chances. What do you like, EJ?
Well, first of all, I think Canada's going to win that group, man. I don't think the Netherlands is going to win Group B. I think Canada is. There's no doubt they're going to go 1-2 out of there. Although New Zealand is definitely going to be that third team, there's going to present some problems down the road in the round of 16 and beyond. But man, I'm not convinced that the Netherlands is going to be able to just cruise through here. Even though the European thing is, yep, we all know that, and that's certainly a factor. So definitely something you have to concern yourself with. But that puts Germany in another good situation too, because that Group P team is going to get a third place team in that round of 16. Well, that would be Germany, and they're going to cruise. They should be into the quarterfinals with no problem. And now you have to deal with Germany. Has to win 3 more games to win the cup. Oh, at plus 800, Germany has a little bit of value, man. Like you said, with the U.S. getting that early test early, that could change who wins this cup, man. That's a big early meeting that takes out one of those 2 big teams. And, man, I think Germany might reap some of those benefits. I really do. Seeing them at that plus 800 and that third spot right behind USA and France is just like, oh, look at Germany just hanging out there waiting for me to put my money on them. Man, that's a little scary, honestly. But the U.S. thing, man, listen, Sauerbrunn, Krieger, O'Hara, all those guys are going to be fine, man. I don't know why you're worried about Alyssa and Net. I think Alyssa's going to be fine. She has some European experience. And by the way, I have Lloyd and I have Morgan, and you don't. Thank you.
Well, tell me what's the strategy with Carly Lloyd? They're bringing her in as like a super sub at this point. That has me a little spooked. The fact that she would like to have a more kind of active role as kind of an anchor of the team, and the fact that she brings as much experience as she does, but that they're intending to bring her on as a sub, I don't know that I get it. And if you have, granted they have some very straightforward and easy group matches to kind of figure it out. But there's enough uncertainty surrounding the U.S. that I don't know that they should be such a huge favorite, especially on European soil. But it's going to be fun to watch either way.
Yeah.
All right. So very quickly here, outrights or the futures. What are you looking at World Cup at this particular moment in time?
So my 2 favorites in the group outrights are Netherlands and Australia. Australia has the best player in this tournament, in my opinion, and she plays in the U.S. in the USW and whatever the women's professional soccer league is in the U.S. and she should have a decent adjustment travel-wise to playing in Europe, and she's got the stamina and the energy, and she really brings a lot to the table. In turn for the dancing Matildas, the Matildas. I can't remember what their nickname is, but it's fantastic. The Australian women's soccer team is my
waltzing Matilda,
my dark horse. The waltzing Matildas. They're -1. Yeah, I got them at -190 to win Group C. I think that's a pretty strong look. I do think Brazil, who they're in that group with, is wildly overrated. People think that they still have this, the same kind of strength and power that they've had in international competition, and they're just not that team anymore. So I think Australia comes away with a Group C victory in style, and I like Netherlands at -130. I see what you're saying about Canada being dangerous, and I agree, but I don't like Canada's path. They're going to have to play New Zealand second. That's going to be tough. New Zealand has beef with Canada. That is like a legitimate, like high intensity rivalry there between New Zealand and Canada. I can see that being a very physical, very draining match, and then they turn around and have to play the tactical New Zealand then third. I think it sets up pretty well for Netherlands. I think it sets up pretty well for Netherlands to get a little bit more tired, a little bit beaten up Canada in that third group match to set them up to steal Group E, which will be the most fun soccer to watch of all of them. That Group E is going to be fantastic. So it's Netherlands for me at -130 in Group E. It's Australia for me at -190. And then I like if you have a book that you can parlay. I like France, USA, and Australia as a 3-leg ACA. I like that as a treble. France, Australia, and USA to win their groups. I get it at about +120. So that should be a fun way to play the group stages. And then for the outrights, I like Australia. I have them at 10-1 in my pocket, and I like Netherlands as well. So those are the two looks I have for the outrights.
Cool. I always say "aka" like you're saying like a foreign language. Like
"Aka."
Aka. Like parlay. Okay. All right.
Aka.
And okay.
However you say it.
Thank you. Try to speak European. All right. Okay. Final question. We got to speed up because we are running by the clock here. So EJ, what are your outrights that you're sitting on right now? Or futures?
Well, now that England's come down to -160 or so, that's a little more playable. And like Will's talking about, that's certainly a combo play where you can definitely put that with at least one other play, even if it be Brazil. I'm shocked you don't think Brazil's really going to make any kind of noise in this competition. They will. I think they will, man. I honestly think that they're going to find a way to at least be competitive here. Will they take that group? Australia is so damn tough, and they have that experience, and obviously they have a goal scorer who's just ridiculous. So, that's going to be an interesting group because Italy's in there too, and no one is giving Italy any respect at all. I get it. They haven't earned a ton of it, but yet. Things happen, man. That Italy team is going to be a little bit more scary than I think people are giving. There's going to be low-scoring games with them right there. When the Netherlands, when the Netherlands and New Zealand play their first match, did you see that total is 3? Are you crazy, man? There's no way that total will stay under 3. There'll be 3 goals by halftime. So I don't even, man. There's a lot of plays out there, but England at -165, I think, has some value. At least some value to put with something. I like Canada to end up winning that group, like I said, against the Netherlands. You and I are going to go back and forth there, Will. We'll see how that goes out. It'd be cool to have something else to talk about, too, though. I'm surprised Japan kind of fell off the map the way they did. They got to the finals last time around, and really no one's given them any chance to really do much. Will they come out of that group? Not with England in it. They won't. So, man, England and Japan will certainly walk out of that group with no problem at all. I mean, there's no problem at all. So, but yeah, that's about it for me so far. When the games start coming, I'm going to give you a post. I'll be putting an article up on the site here in the next day or two. I'll be giving out a good chunk of plays for everybody to take advantage of for the first round.
Right, there we go. EJ, the Rainmaker. So give him a follow on Twitter there. All right, very, very quickly here. France versus South Korea. It is the opening match. Group A. France 1.15, draw 8.5, and South Korea 26. France obviously huge favourites here. They've got the home advantage. Just one loss in 15 matches. 3 clean sheets in the last 5. They have the home advantage. I'm expecting a very comfortable France win. There's not a lot of value in the 3 games that we're previewing. Obviously, there's huge favourites here. I'm looking at France in the over 3.5 goals to 1.9. But my favourite play is actually France -2 on the Asian handicap there, 1.78. They win by 2 goals. If they win by 2 goals, then it is a push. If they win by 3 goals, it is a winner. That's my play. Do you have a play, EJ?
I can agree with that. I'd rather see you slide it up to 2.5, to be honest with you. I don't think South Korea is going to score a single goal on France at all. So if France knows that this opening match is going to be pretty big because we all know that the first tiebreaker, you better score some goals. So, you know what? I think France is going to certainly win this match 3. I wouldn't even bother with the 2. I'd slide up to 2.5 and get some extreme value.
Yeah, I agree. Ergo Kotisig as well, saying France to win to nil. Well, Kappa, do you have a play, or what are you expecting? Win to
I like
nil.
over 3 in this one. I think over
3.
3 goals is the look. I don't think South Korea is entirely unlikely to score a goal. I think they're going to push pretty hard. I think they're going to leave opportunities open for counterattacks, even if they're, especially if it turns into a 2-0 kind of game by halftime. I think it ends like 5-2, 5-1, something like that. So over 3 for me is kind of my favorite way to approach this one. I would take over 3.5 also at a pretty decent price. So that's my look.
Yeah.
All right. So we're singing on the same hymn sheet here. Wonderful. England versus Scotland. Now playing on Sunday, Group D. England 1.25, draw 7, and Scotland 16. Now Scotland are undefeated in their last 5 matches, 4 wins and a draw. Personally, I think that their odds should be shorter than 16. England obviously thrashed Scotland 6-0 in 2017. England have the home advantage, but I'm actually looking at giving Scotland a plus on the Asian handicap. Say Scotland plus 1.5, Scotland plus 2, something like that, 1.63. I also like Scotland to score, both teams to score at 2.6. All right. EJ,
There's your play.
There's
your play. That is the best play you can make.
Really? You like these ones?
Score. There's no doubt that match is going to end a 1-1 at the very least. And that's that's what's the beauty of the both teams to score prop. Now, all you need is 1-1 and get me my money. And that's a beautiful play. Wow. And with value behind it, usually when you see both teams to score, it's juiced up, and there's no juice. And my goodness, I love that play. Now you found yourself a screamer. Love it.
Well, I've been doing this for a few years, so hopefully, but let's see if it comes in. I just think that I'm just surprised by. I just think that Scotland have had a really good run of form here. Well, Kappa,
they look good.
Do you have a play?
Yeah, I like your guys' reads. I like my favorite look though. I like a very low scoring start to this game. I think this is going to be very competitive. This is going to be very high intensity. And I think you're going to get 0-0 at halftime here. So first half under is a nice look for me. Correct score 0-0 at halftime is a nice look if you can find that market. I think that the full game under 2.5 is a nice look as well. I do agree that we're talking about a 1-1, 1-0, 2-0 type of affair here. 1-1 actually makes a ton of sense to me. I would be interested to see what the correct score odds are for that, because that actually does jive a little bit. I think that maybe Scotland open it up a little bit in the second half, put up a goal, and then England comes back and and enforces their will to draw here. That's a game script that I can see playing out pretty fairly.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it's going to be a tight, low scoring match, and I would like under 2.5 in this one.
Yeah. Well, again, so you can play draw at half time. Another real bet that I like, a nugget of a bet on these kind of ones, if you think it's going to be close and cagey, is the second half being the highest scoring half. That generally across the board is about 1.9 on any match. So that could also be a play as well. And then if you're liking that well, Kappa, Scotland plus 1.5 there on the Asian handicap gives them a 2-goal lead, and that's priced at 2, even money. Not bad at all. Somebody is commenting on your goatee, EJ. That's a very nicely trimmed goatee. There you go. Compliments coming in. Final match here, USA versus Thailand, Tuesday, Group F. USA 1.03. It can't be much lower than that. Draw 29 and Thailand 34. Obviously, massive favourite to win the World Cup. USA on paper, they are killing it. Thailand, on the other hand, are the complete opposite to what USA doing. Thailand are not scoring goals. They don't keep clean sheets. USA do the complete opposite. So this one was very hard to find some value, but I did find some. Now, but talking to you, well, Kappa, you think that USA are not that strong defensively, even their previous record says differently. Would you be looking at Thailand to score then in this match based on USA's poor defense that they've got?
My concerns about the USA defensively really will. They manifest in the knockout stages. I don't think they're going to have much trouble putting these group matches away with some comfort. You know what play I liked actually for this one, and it was one you just mentioned. Second half higher scoring. To a degree, Thailand's only hope here is to play keep away to the degree they can in the first half here. To try to just limit the bleeding, limit the damage in the first half, but it's not going to last forever. the potential to bring on Carly Lloyd as a super sub in the second half and score a hat trick or something like that in the second half, I think is real. And so you could see something like 1-0 USA at halftime and a final like 4 or 5-0. So second half higher scoring is a beauty here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this match. I have to say, to get some value on the Asian handicap here with the USA, you have to go to -4.5 at 1.72. It is a tough one. Win to nil, 1.22.
Yes.
Wait
for halftime. If you fancy USA in this, wait for halftime. You're going to get a much better swing.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be 3 or 4-0 at halftime. It'll be like 1 or 2, and at that point you'll get a much cleaner swing on a result, because they're gonna put away goals late in this one. It's not going to come early, I don't think.
I don't know. I think they're coming out all guns blazing. What do you like, EJ?
Well, you realize if you bet both teams to score in the second half, have you seen the price? Oh my!
No, is it 3-4-1?
How about plus 600 for them both to score in the second half?
Oh, that's amazing! Yeah, that's incredible.
That's extremely valuable. I mean, if you're expecting Thailand to do any type of scoring, I highly doubt they're going to do it early. So if Thailand is going to score, they're going to do it at about the hour mark. I agree with that. I mean, if you're going to give me a plus 600 line, just to even tempt fate, I mean, that's an extreme line. I can see a 1-1 second half there. That total is tough though. At 5, no. I can't even look at a 5 and take it seriously. I just no.
Well, I don't think that it's not going to happen. I think there's a possibility, but obviously the price reflects the probability of that happening, which is why you're getting such an awesome price. But who knows, if they're up 6-7-0, then maybe towards the end, there's a goal let in. But
give them a goal.
He who dares wins. I was looking at, so I was either looking at USA leading after 15 minutes at 2.38, because I think they're going to come out guns blazing. They're like, we're favourites to win this competition. You're on our home turf. Let us show you what we're made of. That was my thoughts on the USA leading after 15 minutes, 2.38. Also looking at, but I'm a little bit worried. Last meeting, obviously, it was a friendly. 2016 USA won 9-0. So I was looking at Thailand plus 4.5 goals at 2.1. But I changed my mind. Yeah. But
can't do it.
All I would say is tread carefully, and I also would say tread carefully in the opening matches. Let's see what these teams are made of. Half a unit on some of these bets, but it is going to be a wonderful ride of the World Cup. So we're going to have to wrap up. We are well over time, but it was been a lot of fun, and time flew by because I was having so much fun. All right, well, Kappa, EJ, the Rainmaker. Thank you very much, boys. Best of luck. We'll check in the next round and see how our bets are doing, see how the women are doing, and just enjoy the whole ride. Everybody for watching, thank you very much, and speak to you soon.
Thanks, Natalie. Best of luck, EJ.
Thank you. You too, man. Good luck to everybody out there. Good stuff. Thank you.
There you go. Whew. Thanks, Rafa, for your patience. 20 minutes over. Woo! All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.